Hello, everybody. Let's see here. I was on vacation last week, family vacation. And the kids asked me not to work, so didn't really trade at all or post anything. Um, so here we are. We're back and we're ready to go. All right. Let's start off here with Apple. Apple. Last week I told you guys we were going to be looking to short this level here. Um, they came in, barely peaked above it, and then you saw the aggressive selling that we had. This level here, I had it just a little bit higher. I dropped it here because I noticed something right now, and I was looking over the charts that caught my attention. So this guy here, 275.56, 273.61. We have our weekly value area low sitting there, which gives us a little bit extra confluence on this level. This is something I'm going to want to pay attention to. This level here, you could also mark it. This is going to be 280, 280.59, 279.61. I would look to be a buyer in this level here. They're coming back in. Um, However, I am a lot less confident, so I would wait for this level here to get hit 279.55, and I would have my stop loss for 279, 278.99. Excuse me. For me to go short, which is what I think is most probable to happen here, this right here is pretty bearish. They've got a immediate rejection reversal on this aggressive buyer here. He came up close to where we got that aggressive selling that came into the market right here where we expected it at. And so, I expect this is more probable to go to the downside here on Apple sometime this week. Um, Not, it doesn't mean it's going to fall off a cliff, but just to retest these buyers here at least. So for me to do that, I would ideally like for them to lose this previous week POC here, maybe put in a couple lower lows here, and then give you a pullback into this area. I would short targeting here, in which case I would flip long right here. Okay. Now if they lose this level, guys here, especially this weekly level here, there's a very high chance we're coming down to 270. This zone down here, which is 270.27, 269.54. Very, very, very high chance that's where we're going. Okay, so just wait and just like I said last week, just wait for these levels to get hit and wait to see if you should long here. If it doesn't matter if you take a loss, and if they break it, well then you wait, you flip short, and you target down here. Okay, which means they want to go lower. That's all that means. That's what I got there for Apple. And again, when we come into this zone here, I'm definitely going to be a buyer. 270.26, 269.57, 59ish. I want to be a buyer here. You definitely want to plot that. You want to set an alert for when and if we cross this line here. It doesn't matter when it is. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it's next week, next month. If we come down to this level here, I would definitely be a buyer. Okay, that's what I've got there for Apple. Amazon. So Amazon here, we discussed these two levels here. This here was kind of splitting the value, and you could tell here they peaked above the level that we had discussed here, but then they lost it. Right, they peaked above it, couldn't hold it. They tried to hold it right here, could not, lost it. This right here was your key to go short here, targeting the level down below, which they did give us. Again, this is a similar situation here where, you would have or should have tried to long this level here, and it ultimately would have ended up in a loss, and that's okay. That's the way these things work out, right? It's fine. If you take a loss, it is not the end of the world. I mean, it is what it is, right? You can't win them all. The only thing is we can manage our risk, and that is about it. So as much what I'm seeing here on Amazon currently, ideally here I would like them to give 234.63 ish right here, and with the stop loss at 235.20 for a short. So something like this here, something like this. Stop loss here, First target would be here. Second target would be this accumulation down here. So scoot this over. This accumulation down here. And ultimately, we could very well get down to 221 from here. Okay. You want to get a higher out position on this, or a longer expiration. The other trade that I would look to take here would be something like this right up here at the very top of our zone, maybe just a little bit lower. And again, your stop loss is going to be here, and it's going to be a similar situation. You're going to want to trim on the way down. Similar thing here, this, and ultimately look for this. Right. This guy here, I'll definitely be a buyer. 221.06, 218.98. The midpoint would be ideal here, 220.04, to wait for that for long. We should get a pretty good move from this zone here if they give it, okay? So you definitely, again, you want to put an alert here, for this zone here, 221.09, 219.08, 219 flat, you can call it. And again, if they can give you this midpoint here at 220.05, you want to set an alert and be a buyer there. If these buyers here show up aggressively, we can very, very easily, guys, very easily come all the way back up to 235 and higher, back up to these 240s, even get 246 from here. You're talking about a $20, $25 move that can easily come from a zone like this, okay? So you definitely want to mark that. Just for you guys that use TradingView, you can just set an alert and wait for it to get hit. Okay. AMD. AMD. I gave you guys this level here from last week's video. I told you we were going to be short here, and look at what ultimately happened. Right. Now here, this was the level that I gave you guys. This one I added just now. Looking at this profile here, looking at price action, I added this one. But I gave you guys, really, it was from this level short down to here. Okay. Again, I gave you guys areas to trim on the way down. So currently here, AMD is developing a 2-week range. Okay. That's the way this week ended up. We ended up inside of each other and overlapping weekly ranges here. And so looking at this profile now, right, depending on where they open up Monday, what they do Monday, you can clearly see here, you've got a big ledge sitting here. You've got protection right here. So this guy, to me, is going to be an area where you really, really want to pay attention to this. Right here. Okay. This is kind of splitting that value there and here. Okay. So essentially here, if they open up here on Monday above this zone here, I would look to be a buyer targeting, right here at 530.94 and 534.84. Right here, you definitely want to be careful. In fact, this is a decent short right here. Okay. But really, right, when you're in a range, guys, the best thing to do is to get in at the extreme and to target, your POC, your weekly POCs, or your range POCs, excuse me, your range POC, and you've got to be able to have a little bit more mental fortitude there, because you have to hold this. You're gonna have to hold through a lot of chop, right? So you're gonna have to, get a further out expiration date, because Theta is gonna, eat your premium. So you definitely want to get a further day expiration, right? And on the way up here, this right here is your SIG 3, SIG 2, as well as zone sitting here. Okay, so for AMD, the way I would play this is I would long right here. You guys can mark this level 511.20, 506.66. This zone is pretty wide here. I definitely, understand that. So the best thing you could do here is potentially you can enter at 511.71, and you could put your stop loss right here at the bottom of this guy here at 511. Basically, where is that? 510.89. Okay, you could do something like that there. That way you don't have to, have your stop way down here, and you take a massive loss, right? You can mitigate that by trying along again 511.71 ish, and stop at 510.89. If they lose that, I would wait for them to come down here lower to this 508.18, and I would again try to long this with the stop at 506.47. Okay. And the way I would personally play this is I would trim here, and I would be out of most everything here. Okay. Because like I said, this area here could be very dangerous here. It's 536, 534, 534.58 to 535, not actually give it 535.74. This guy here is really dangerous, okay? So, if they break that, they will continue back up to this upper part of our range here. But you definitely want to be out 75% of your position here. So again, I would look to buy here or buy a little bit lower, and I would target here, target here again. But again, I'd be out of most of everything there, and maybe you leave a runner targeting this level here. All right. This guy here, I'm going to go ahead and leave it. There's no need really to change it. 555.64, 548.32 from last week. We'll just leave it there. That's going to continue to be resistance. So there's really no reason to change that. Now here, right, if they lose this low here, guys, this is going to be something where you're going to want to be patient here. And, if they lose this 502.93, I would then wait for a pullback. Okay. I would wait for a pullback here. Let's say they take this out. I would wait for a pullback into this area right here. And I'm going to short this, targeting this gap fill right here. Okay. In which case, you definitely want to mark this level here also. 493.86, 488.23. I would definitely be a buyer at the midpoint here at 491.13. I would look to be a buyer here. I would look for buyers to come in to retest this top of the zone at least. Okay. So from 90, you can get all the way up to 506, 508 easily. All right. That's what I've got there for Amazon. NVIDIA, I don't think I recharted. I don't think I recharted NVIDIA here. These levels are still going to work though. If you guys haven't marked these yet, 190.14, 189.55, you can put that there on your chart. I would be a buyer here. Yeah, but I have not really recharted this to be able to give you guys a better analysis here. But definitely I would be a buyer here. Okay. SPY. This is going to be... Okay, so SPY, I added this level here just now, this yellow one. This one here, though, guys, I had given to you guys since Monday. And, I told you guys I would think that they were going to, enter a potential range here because we had strong sellers here, strong buyers here from the previous price action and market history, right? So, and as you can see here, right, they opened up here on Tuesday, and you come and hit it. They give you a short there, right? They give you another short here. They give you another short here, and they're protecting this area over and over and over, right? So they basically range the entirety of the week, which is pretty wild. A lot of chop that came in for SPY there. I mean, but it was kind of expected, right? We talked about both these levels. They were there since last video that I made for you guys last Sunday. So now what we're looking at here is we've got this level down here. This is weird right here. just because it didn't show up on ES. It does show up on SPY, so it's a little weird how that happened there. Stuff like that does happen though. So pretty much not much has changed here, really, for SPY for me yet. You know, I'm still looking for them to play the range. They peaked below here, so I'm interested to see what they do on Monday, where they open up. If they open up down here, I would short this level. Okay. They open up anywhere down here, and they pull up into this area here, 730.47. This zone here, 731.05, 729.83. I would look to short this. Okay, this is a little bit tricky here, but I would look to be short there. Now, if they open up higher, right, if they open up anywhere up here and come into this zone here, I would look to long it. Right, and again, I would look to play the range. I would look to keep playing the range here. Okay, this is going to be your extreme really down here. I can get rid of this now. Really, this is going to be your extreme, and this is going to be your extreme. And I would just keep playing the range. You know, if they do reject here, right, pretty strong. You know, with this war going on, I think the U.S. bombed, they bombed Iran again yesterday, I believe. And I think they did it on Friday also. So the market is definitely uncertain, right? And if they go back to bombing each other like full scale, you know, I think the market's not going to take that well, and we're going to end up selling off. So, you know, depending on news, depending on price action, from this guy here, if they reject it, we could easily, I know it seems far away, but we could easily get 712 sometime next week. Very easily. Okay. This level here, you guys want to have it on your chart here, 712.40, 711.38. You know, just set an alert for you guys that use TradingView, and you can, or really, I think pretty much any software gives you alerts now. I would look to be a buyer here, 100%. We can get a really big move from here, all the way back up to 740. Very, very easily. But for now, guys, just mark these levels here. 741.33, 739.67. I gave you guys that level last week. This one we adjusted it for this week. 731.10, 729.90. Okay, that's it. This is the level here. This is the key. Okay, if they come in again, you know, this is potentially give you this all the way down to here, and then this. Right. Another thing that can happen here is, depending on where they open, if they open up here, they can do this. Come here. Do this. If they reject here again, guys, that's going to be very bearish. If they reject this upper level again, they're running out of, there's no buyers then. There's nobody here to send the market higher. So what they're going to have to do is go look for buyers again. Should be down there. All right. Let's see here. For ES, my ES traders, just SPY in the futures market. So pretty similar situation here. ES is getting into a 2-month accumulation. We've been going sideways now for 2 months on ES, which is SPY. Just that, you know, if you guys might be a little bit confused, ES I charted on extended trading hours, which is overnight, not just the New York session. So you know, looking at this here, what I'm seeing, guys, is this guy here is going to be very important, and this guy here is important. If we open up below here, come Monday or even tonight, that to me would be bearish. I would look to short the market here. You know, obviously I'm going to trim on the way down. I'm going to trim here at 73.83. Then I'm going to trim at 73.68, 75. I'm going to be out of 50 or 75% of my position here. But we could very easily come all the way down to 73.20 73.04. You do have your 2 1/3 sig here on that 2-month accumulation. So again, here, I would definitely be a buyer, right? It's something similar to SPY. Sell off into that area that we discussed. Come into here. You could come in and you could easily go all the way back up to here and higher. Okay. So, that's kind of what I'm seeing there. I'm looking to short here. This zone here is 74.64.75, 74.56.50, or this one here, 74.0925, 74 flat, 74.04, excuse me. That's just kind of what I'm seeing there. Again, the market's uncertain, but we are in a 2-month balance. So let's just keep playing that balance. Okay. The bottom of the balance is here. All right. So I'm just going to keep playing that balance. Right. Gold. Golden, this is how this methodology here works, guys. I gave you guys this level here. We're going to use it to try to long the market here beforehand. Come Monday, right? We discussed about potentially longing this level here. And as you can see here on Sunday when they opened, they did try to make it support, right? Here. They peaked below it, but they found aggressive buyers right around that level. This zone here was our general demand area, right? I just try to give you guys a smaller area to try to mitigate your risk. And they hit the midpoint of our our overall demand zone, which is this white zone here. They found those buyers, right? But gold has that personality, right, for lack of a better term, where it comes right up to a level of retest and they sell off from there, which is exactly what they did here again. Gold likes to do that, right? Now here, this is the perfect example, right? They come in, they break the level here. You're getting 3 15-minute candles at least trading below our zone here, right? And they pull right back up to that same level that I gave you guys that could be big support. And what do they make it? They made it strong resistance. They gave you 2 chances to get in short here and here, right? And, they sold the market off. Like I was telling you guys, gold right now is down trending. Gold is trending down. Okay. So, the best thing to do is to keep trying to short the market or keep shorting it. You don't have to try, just keep shorting the market here because gold is obviously trending down currently. I mean, that's what it's doing, right? The next level that gold is going to hit if they lose this guy is going to be most likely this guy here. And then this one's a higher time frame. This is kind of a trim area here if they lose this level here. Okay. So again, right, they came in, they hit a level of support here. They're finding buyers currently. They did give you change of character here on the 30-minute, obviously. They're going back up to the upside. However, they're running back right into this retest and this retest here. Okay. So gold, I would be short gold here. If they can give you an entry up here at 41.095, I would be short gold with the stop at this guy here, 41.15. Okay. If they give you guys this level here, any point this week, right? This is our general area to short. You've got 2 areas here where you could take this general zone here short, right? You could short it here at this 413.82 stop loss right here. 41.44, right? You've got your previous week value area high sitting there. If they break that, I would again try to short here. Okay, this zone here, just leave it there. There's not a big point, not a reason really to change it. Okay, and again, if they give you guys this level here, I would be a buyer. Right, this one's 39.81.7, 39.56.4. Okay, I would look to be a buyer in this general area here. Okay, And that's going to be it for me, guys. The video went on for a little bit longer than I wanted to. Again, if you got any questions, you can DM me. Good luck trading this week, guys.